Let me tell you a story about someone I met at a senior wellness retreat in northern Arizona. His name was George. George was 75, witty, sharp, and always had a clever remark ready. But something about him stood out. He seemed light, not just physically, emotionally, peaceful in a way that most people aren't. One morning during a group walk, I asked him, "George, what's your secret? You seem happier than most folks I know." He chuckled, looked at the mountains, and said, "I stopped carrying other people's weight." I asked what he meant, and what he said next changed the way I see aging forever. For years, I tried to keep everyone happy. Old colleagues, neighbors, friends I hadn't felt close to in decades. I was more connected than ever, but lonelier than I'd ever been. It was only when I started letting go of people, expectations, obligations, that I started living. He didn't isolate himself. He liberated himself. That's when it hit me. Maybe true happiness after 60 doesn't come from holding on, but from letting go. And that's what this video is all about. What if I told you that the secret to a happier, more peaceful life after 60 might lie in having fewer friends? Sound odd, doesn't it? We've been taught that staying socially active is the key to aging well. That loneliness is dangerous. That the more people we keep in our lives, the better off we are. But what if that advice isn't entirely true? What if letting go of friendships that no longer serve you is exactly what your heart, your health, and your spirit need? In this video, we're going to explore 6 powerful reasons why having fewer friends after 60 might actually lead to a happier, healthier, and more meaningful life. And before you make any assumptions, this is not about isolation or giving up. It's about freedom. It's about finally choosing you. So stay with me till the end, because the 6th reason will completely shift the way you think about relationships, joy, and the time you have left. Also, I'll be sharing 3 questions at the end that can help you decide which friendships are worth keeping and which ones are quietly stealing your energy. Now, let's begin. You don't owe anyone an explanation anymore. One of the most liberating parts of growing older is realizing that you no longer owe anyone an explanation. You don't have to explain why you didn't call back. You don't have to justify why you missed the party. And you certainly don't need to feel bad for needing space. When you were younger, life was a constant performance, impressing coworkers, pleasing friends, showing up even when you didn't want to. But now, you've earned a right to stop performing. Think about it. Do you still feel pressure to return every call, respond to every text, or agree to every get-together? That pressure isn't love, it's obligation. And the beautiful thing about this stage in life is that you can finally release it. You're not being rude. You're being real. And the real you deserves peace. Peace is the new success. In our 30s and 40s, success looked like promotions, parties, popularity. Now, success has a new name. Peace. And peace is often found in the quiet moments. Mornings with coffee and birdsong, long walks without small talk, reading a book with no interruptions. But here's the catch. Peace is easily disturbed by people who don't respect it. Ever felt drained after talking to someone, even if you've known them for years? Ever sat through a lunch that felt more like a chore than a joy? You're not alone. Margaret, 72, once told me she used to attend every group brunch, even though she didn't enjoy them anymore. One day, she stopped going. She felt guilty at first, but then she noticed something magical. She felt lighter, calmer, happier. Ask yourself, what brings you more peace? Another obligation, or a quiet afternoon doing what you love? Friendships without depth are just noise. Let's be honest, some friendships are built on convenience, not connection. Maybe it started at work, or your kids were in the same school. But years later, you're still keeping up a friendship that never really went deeper than surface-level chat. As we age, our capacity for small talk shrinks, and our hunger for authenticity grows. We don't want gossip. We want real conversations. We don't want passive company. We want meaningful presence. If you've ever left a catch-up call feeling empty, or worse, irritated, it might be time to ask, is this relationship nurturing my soul or draining it? You deserve friendships that feel safe, deep, and mutual, not ones that exist out of habit. Hey, before we continue, I want to ask you something. Have you ever felt guilty for stepping away from a friendship that felt one-sided? Or maybe you've been wondering why certain people just faded away? Stick with me, because in a few minutes, I'm going to explain why letting go isn't selfish. It's spiritually necessary. And remember, those 3 life-changing questions are coming up at the end. They'll help you evaluate which relationships deserve your time now and which don't. Let's move forward. You've already done the work. By now, you've likely raised kids, built a career, supported a partner, or cared for aging parents. You've listened. You've given. You've been there for others. Now it's your turn. You don't have to fix everyone's problems. You don't have to be the emotional glue of a group. Many older adults, especially women, feel guilt for walking away from draining friendships, even when they know they should. But here's the truth. You've already done your part. You don't owe the world your energy anymore. You owe it to yourself. Let that sink in. Alone doesn't mean lonely. Here's a myth we need to shatter. Being alone equals being lonely. False. In fact, some of the most deeply fulfilled elders I've met live simple, quiet lives with just 1 or 2 close friends, or sometimes none. Why? Because they build a friendship with themselves. They wake up and smile. They talk to God. They sip tea in silence. They aren't chasing validation. They're living in alignment. Eleanor, 76, told me once, I stopped needing someone to eat dinner with. Now I eat with gratitude. Can you relate? Have you ever had a moment, just you and the sunset, or you and a memory, where you felt completely whole? That's not loneliness. That's wisdom. Letting go makes room for something greater. Sometimes we hold on to people simply because we always have. But holding on takes energy. What if letting go of the friendships that no longer serve you opens the space for something more meaningful? Maybe it's a new hobby. Maybe it's more time with grandkids. Maybe it's a quiet moment that leads to a new chapter in your spiritual journey. James, 80, said after releasing 3 friendships he had maintained for 40-plus years, he felt like he had cleared out emotional clutter. Within months, he met someone new at the park. Just a kindred spirit, another soul on a walk. They've been weekly walking buddies ever since. Letting go doesn't mean shutting down. It means opening up on your terms. Before we wrap up, here are the 3 questions you can ask yourself tonight. Does this person make me feel lighter or heavier? If I never called again, would they notice or care? When I think about them, do I feel peace or pressure? Let your answers guide you. Your energy is sacred now. Treat it that way. You've reached a point in life where you get to choose peace over pressure, simplicity over stress, and authenticity over appearances. It's okay to outgrow people. It's okay to protect your energy. And it's more than okay to put yourself first. If this message resonated with you, let me know in the comments by typing peace over pressure so I know you're still with me. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on notifications. We've got more empowering elder wisdom content coming every week. You're not alone. You're exactly where you're meant to be. Thank you for watching.